Now it's recording. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Booty Boy Wrestling Fan. Today I'm joined by my very special guest, coming in at number 477 on the PWI 500 list. She is one half of the greatest female tag teams in New England, the Sea Stars. She is one half of the current Sabotage Tag Team Champions and the Shimmer Tag Team Women's Champion. I'm joined by my very special guest, Delmi XO. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great, Donovan. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I've been trying to get you on my show for a long time now, but I'm glad we crossed paths. So
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of podcasts that I owe appointments to. So I'm getting to them now that I have enough time.
Are you doing well during the COVID-19 pandemic? Are you safe, healthy, all that?
Yes, I am. Other than allergies, I've been doing pretty good. Everyone wear your mask, use hand sanitizer, please wash your hands. And yeah, been staying safe.
Now, how long have you been in wrestling for?
I believe it would be 6 years with training.
Where did you train from?
So I actually started off as a backyarder. Pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. I was at a SmackDown show, and a guy was handing out flyers to an independent wrestling show. And my sister and our friend Juan, they had kind of like left me behind, and I was lagging because I was so tired. Those shows are so long. And I stopped by and I grabbed the flyer. Normally, you're not supposed to talk to strangers. I was 17 at the time. So I grabbed the flyer, and we were already interested in kind of like figuring out the independent wrestling scene. We had no ideas it existed, but at the time, Ashley had already made up her mind she wanted to start training. So we called the people and contacted them, and they set us up with Dynamite Doug Summers. And he started training us out of North Attleboro in Massachusetts. It was a barn in the backyard of the famous Loomis Brothers house. And the ring was super stiff. It was very dusty. It was frigid in the winter and disgustingly steamy in the summer. But we trained there for 2 years. And then after that, we went to different schools to kind of clean up what we learned at that point. We went to Taven School in Rhode Island, and we went to Nepwa over in North Andover.
Now, according to your Instagram post yesterday, one of your coaches and trainers, instead of coach, it's a couch actually. Why is Perry Von Vicious a couch?
Well, he is my coach. So after training for 2 years with Doug, he kind of retired from the business, and so he was no longer a trainer. We went to different schools to just kind of stay consistent, but I never worked with anyone one-on-one who kind of dedicated time to me, like worked on my moves and worked on what my brand should look like overall as a package. When Perry moved back from California, him and Rip, oh God, I don't know what to call him. Him and Rip kind of became like inseparable. And whether they were like butting heads or not, I think they're soulmates. But they were always together, and so I ended up in that car ride. And Perry just kind of took me under his wing, no questions asked. We would always train once a week, and they were in Rhode Island, which is where I was living, and they would just work on everything we needed to do. They actually helped me and Ashley for our Shimmer debut. They helped prepare us for all the Texas tours, just focusing on tag team wrestling. And I owe a lot to them because I never had that dedication from someone before. And I think it's helped me in the long run, and they still continue to help me.
Now, this next question is a two-part one. You have a YouTube channel. You did vlogs. First, what happened to the vlogs? So go ahead and answer that, and then I'll say the second part.
So, surprise, I did just record an intro piece to my vlog today because thank you for being excited. Well, the thing is, I never know if people actually like the vlogs when I make them. Like, I make them and, like, they don't get a lot of hits. So I'm like, oh, like maybe people like don't want to see that content. But I also don't have like the best equipment to make them. So
Hmm.
that kind of holds me back too. But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to vlog this weekend because it's going to be the collective. So I'll be putting out a video once it's all done. And
Yes.
since I don't have a job right now, I have time to do those things. So yes, they are coming back.
Yay. Now the second part is I asked Perry Von Vicious this question during his interview. You guys did a vlog together. You were at the same venue. I forgot which vlog it was, but it was like 2 years ago in November, and you told your fans from your video to go watch his vlog, and then he told his fans to go watch your vlog for a surprise. Nothing happened. So can you please explain that to me? What was the surprise?
What was I remember the vlog. It was the Limitless show. I think it was a work. I think we were working people. I feel so bad admitting that, but I think it was just to cross audiences. I'm so sorry.
It's
We
fine.
prizes from now on.
Yeah, he just said like there wasn't anything a surprise. So I wanted to get your perspective on
Yeah,
it.
I think that's what it was. It was just it was a work. Wow.
Now, as you mentioned, you like to travel. I mean, you traveled a lot. Earlier this year, you went to Japan. What was that experience like?
Japan was really great. I've been there before with my school. Actually, the summer before I started wrestling training, I went for 10 days because I studied Japanese.
Hmm.
And so going back was my dream. When I started wrestling, they were asking everyone what your dream was. Everyone said WWE. I had no idea how intense it was in Japan. And I was just like, oh, I want to wrestle in Japan because I like Japan. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Mhm.
But it was great. I went with Marvelous, trained under Chigusa, and it was just a really good experience. They trained twice a day, almost every day. My body was a wreck, but I loved it. I loved what I was doing. I was learning so much. I was in the best shape of my life at the time. Not that I'm not in shape now, but I was just a machine at that time. It really like builds you up to be just a monster in the ring, just explosive and strength wise, conditioning wise. It was so fun. The food was great. I love Japanese food. Can't say that enough. And so yeah, it was a good time. Would love to go back, but right now with COVID, I think I'm just gonna wait the year out and then try to go back and just maybe do a shorter tour because I really missed home after a while. But definitely want to go back.
Now, in Japan, the TikToks actually started there. Am I correct?
Yeah, all the girls would do TikTok hour after all the training and dinner was over. They would
Is
just
that a real thing? Is that what
that's
it
a
was called?
legit thing. They didn't announce it, but me and Masha knew when it was TikTok hour. And they would get their ring lights out and their tripods and they would just work on like little TikTok dances in front of the camera until it was like perfected. And me and Masha, we were more like tomboyish, so we got along really well. And we just didn't do those things, and we had no idea what to do. And they would try to teach us, and we were like, "Oh, we are so incapable. I'm sorry." My not dances. I kind of do like more like the skips, so I
Hmm.
got that section. But they did inspire me to like kind of create content and like just push and like it doesn't always have to be like photo shoots. Like I'm not a girl who can do photo shoots. That's like not my thing. So the funny stuff is like it's good for me to be able to incorporate and like show fans and like just free content that they get to watch.
Now, one thing that I noticed in your TikToks, every TikTok, I mean, not the Japan ones, there's always an alcoholic beverage involved. Whose idea was that?
Oh, I didn't realize it was almost every TikTok. I
Pretty
think it's
much.
Ashley. It's definitely Ashley, not because we're trying to get alcohol involved, but she loves props. She tries to think of what's the wackiest thing I can put in the video that someone's gonna be like, why is that there? Um we have made a lot of like ones that are based around alcohol. But I think that's just because when we started, it was quarantine, and the joke on TikTok was like, "Oh, everyone's drinking in the house because there's nothing to do and we're bored." A lot of the times, I'm gonna break kayfabe here. It's not actually like a filled can, or like we're not actually drinking something alcoholic. Sometimes we have like an empty bottle of tequila and we're like, just fill it with water. Like no one needs to know we're not actually taking shots. It'd be a bad time if we were.
So I gotta ask this question then. Was this real alcohol when you guys went to the beach one? You did like the 3 shots. Was that real?
The beach one with the 3 shots. Oh, okay. So yes, that's true. We did order the fishbowl, but we split it. It was between me, my friend Adam, and Ash. And we weren't tipsy at all. Like, it was a whole day that we spaced them out, but we thought it'd be a funny video to show how like people become intoxicated.
Let's see. What was my next question? This happens a lot, just to warn you, but it's like having fun is the thing that I main care about on my interviews. So you have went to Texas, as you mentioned before. What is your favorite thing to eat in Texas? Because a lot of the vlogs are from Texas.
I miss Texas. I am going back, I think this year. Yes, I am going back this year. So I will make a vlog just for you in Texas of all the food that I eat.
Am I going to get a shout out?
I will give you a shout out. This
Yes.
was I'm trying to think. I had ramen there, of course, and Voodoo Donuts. That has to be it. Voodoo Donuts. I'm not a donut person, or at least I wasn't. But when I went to Texas, Ashley just knew that place. She was like, "Oh, everyone like tweets about it, posts about it." Mandy and she posted about it. So we went. I got the Captain Crunch donut, and I was in love. The last time I drove to Texas with Perry and Rip, actually, I brought a box home because it's much easier than trying to fly with them. But I managed to bring a box home.
Were they still good?
Yeah, they were still good, actually, surprisingly. We had AC in the car, so I think if we didn't, they'd probably go bad. Rip ate 3 on the way back home. So I think like 6 managed to survive the trip.
Now, one thing that I like to talk about from wrestlers' quarantines is working out and how they stay in shape. I've seen your workout videos from when you lived in Rhode Island, your actual home, and you made a home gym with your sister, Ashley, and your tag team partner. And now you're with Rip because he talked about it too. What equipment do you have in your home gym?
So back home, we barely had a lot. Me and Ashley, when we started off. And Rip is actually such a sweetheart. He'll never admit that. But he gave us some plates. He gave us like a ladder bar to do different things with. He gave us a bench, and that's adjustable. And that all stayed home because it's perfect size for Ashley. Like, she doesn't need. I don't mean that because she's tiny. I don't mean that because she's tiny. I mean that because she like has such a limited amount of space over there, so it's like perfect size for her. And then I bought flooring for that area so we wouldn't destroy that upstairs, and Layla actually helped us paint it. And then she bought herself a tower, and I was able to use that up until I moved. And so funny story, me and Ashley, when we were buying equipment for the gym, we got really excited and we saved up money and bought a squat rack that you would drill into the wall. And we didn't tell Rick. We were like, "Oh yeah, like it's a nice squat rack." And things were so unavailable that when it became available on the website, we just jumped at the opportunity, and it was cheaper than most squat racks you would get. But when we did tell Rip, because he was going to be the one to set it up, for us. We don't know how to use a drill. He was telling me that this particular squat rack is complicated to set up because you would have to drill it into the wall. And then when we got it, it was too tall for the room. So we didn't get to use it. And instead of being stuck and having to pay shipping all the way, which would be expensive, I think it'd be like $170 to ship that back to the company. Instead of paying that, Rip bought Ashley's half of that squat rack, and now we have it here. So it finally got set up 6 months later, and we get to use the squat rack.
Now, this is another workout equipment question. Why do collars, like the thing that keeps the plates in place, not belong on a trap bar or hex bar, whatever it's called?
Yeah, I give Rip shit for this. Okay, so trap bar, you normally use it for like shrugs, deadlifts. I wouldn't use it for anything other than that. Maybe like carries, farmer carries. So because of the distribution, big word, because of the way it's built, the weight never teeters. It is made to be like evenly distributed at all times, especially if you're deadlifting on it. The plates aren't ever tapping the ground. They're tapping, the little frame is tapping the floor, not the plates. So because of that, there's no possibility at all that your weights would shift unless you decided to like teeter yourself. You are going to be safe. There's at no point are you in danger that you need to use clips. I'm all for clips. I will always use clips when I squat, when I bench. I'm no hero. But I worked at a gym and I would always get annoyed because people would come to the front desk and be like, there's not enough clips on the floor. And I knew it was because someone was deadlifting with the hex bars and they put clips on it.
Interesting. Now, Perry Von Vicious, he has gave me some of his workouts, and he also talked about on his interview how he does 2 leg days because of you. Why? This is another 2-part question. What is wrong with you that you love leg day so much? Because I know no one that loves leg day as much as you.
Well, I'm a girl, so particularly I do like legs because that's like the body part that kind of helps with strength more. Girls have stronger legs than guys, like on average. Our upper body is usually like weaker, but our legs can get the most strength. Also, your legs are one of your bigger muscles.
Big word.
So, yeah, it's one of your bigger muscle groups, so you do have to train them often, such as back. Like you would train your back more than your chest. It can take more punishment and recover faster. So he just complains. He's very tall, so it's very difficult for him to work legs. Same with me. It's very difficult for me to work legs. I'm just crawling throughout the house 2 days after.
Oh, I didn't realize that you were done finishing that question, but okay. What was the second part to it? Oh, I think you did answer this. I forgot.
That's fine.
So one of your nicknames in wrestling is one of the boys. What made you come up with that nickname, or how did you get that nickname actually?
So that was something I always heard when I was training. It was always just, oh, you have to be one of the boys. And it was never like how it got exposed earlier on this year with like speaking out where like you kind of hide each other's secrets. No, it was just simple, like help out putting the ring together, show up early to put up chairs, like go hand out flyers, simple things like that the show needs to be able to be run. Help each other with like car rides, like if a promoter needs someone to pick up someone from an airplane, like you can volunteer, like you're one of the boys, you're helping the show, you don't think you're better than anyone else in the locker room, you're just equal. And so when I started going to shows, Rip would always like say that term. He'd be like, I'm gonna treat you like one of the boys. Like, you have to set up the ring, you have to go out after and hang out with the guys. Like, we're not gonna go on dates after shows, because a lot of couples would do that. Like, the show would end and couples would like break off and go their own way, but like Rip always wanted to like hang out with all the guys at the bar after and just like stay out late. And like it wasn't anything crazy, like it wasn't like parties, it was just like listening to the vets tell their stories and like hearing all the old tales from back then. So that was just a term I kept hearing. And when I was in the middle of like changing gimmicks, there was a show that I had to do the next morning, and it was called 5-Year Plan. It was for Beyond Wrestling's women's show, and I was just getting really bad anxiety because I felt like I didn't belong on the card. I felt like all these girls have like their own image and like they're very strong displays of who they are, and I didn't have anything. And then that term kind of jumped in my head and I just ran with it. I had no wrestling gear for it, but I showed up. I told Richard Palladino. I didn't tell anyone else because I was so like scared of getting backlash. But I told him, and he kind of helped me make it be announceable. It was just one of the boys at first. Now it's just one of the boys. But yeah, from there on, I just kept it.
Now, actually, I wanted to let you know this. My home promotion, I'm not a wrestler, not yet, at least. But my first wrestling promotion that I went to was Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling, and that's like the first show. And you used to work there.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ever gonna make a comeback to Pioneer Valley?
Yeah, I came back maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3, and I got to wrestle Davey. Someone had canceled, and I had come up to hang out with everyone at the show because they are my friends, like that group of people. That's where I started off at. I don't know with COVID if they're going to be running after in terms of like financial. We ran into the promoter, actually, Hammer Tunis, like our first week. We ran into him getting takeout. It was so weird, but yeah, we have good like standings with them. Hopefully I can make a return.
Oh, this is one of those awkward moments of silence again.
What's next?
I'm just listening, and I'm like, oh, she stopped talking. Now, when you became the tag team with your sister, Ashley Fox, not Fox, I made that mistake a lot. You guys are now one of the top tag teams in New England. What are some of the promotions that you guys have gone to?
Oh man. We started off at Blitzkrieg. Jeremy Leary was the one who heard about the idea, and he was like, "Oh, let's like test it out." Horrible match. Horrible first match. Horrible first matches. Our first year was so disgusting. And so from there, we kind of took a break with it and worked on like our own individual styles and our own characters. And when we made the comeback, there was one show that we got to do, which we worked with Perry and Rip on different offense. And then we had to make our Shimmer debut. So from there, it's been just kind of a snowball effect of people accepting the gimmick again and like being really invested and excited to see us tag. So we're really happy about that. We've worked for Shimmer. We've worked for Fest in Florida. We're going to do Effie's Big Gay Brunch. We've done Rise, Sabotage in Texas, other promotions in Texas like New Texas Pro. We've been up to Canada, but we didn't tag there. Not yet. Oh, actually, wait. We did the summit in Canada, so we got to do that. We've been to AWS in California, Bar Wrestling when it was running. Yeah, a lot of places. Midwest, we're finally going to break out into with the collective weekend that's happening. So that's exciting. New state added onto the map.
Can you tell the fans that are watching this, what is the collective?
So the collective is an organized weekend of events by GCW. There's going to be 12 different shows running. They're all going to be live streamed on Fight TV if you can't attend due to travel restrictions or health restrictions in your own accord. And so I'm going to be part of Effie's Big Gay Brunch Saturday morning at, I just looked at this, 11 a.m. And then Shimmer at 4 p.m. on Sunday.
2 shows. That's
shows.
Nice.
Didn't want to do it.
Are there any gonna be C-Star tag team matches?
Yep, they'll both be tag matches.
Oh, I thought they were single matches at first, but okay, that's good. This is an awkward moment now. Let's see. What else? How do you feel that you made the top 500 PWI magazine list?
Stoked. So the list for the women's came out last year. It was literally the weekend before we won Shimmer tag belts. We didn't know we were winning them either. And so we were in California. We were sitting next to Chris Statlander and Nicole Savoy. Nicole had been on the list before, so she saw it and she was like, "Oh, cool." Krista had gotten placed in 100 out of 100 women, and me and Ashley were throwing a fit. We were like, Krista's everywhere. Like, how is she 100? Like, that doesn't make sense. And she was just like, yeah, I guess. Like, it didn't bother her. But Ashley,
well, she's an alien, so.
Yeah, right. She's like, whatever. Ashley was like pretty bummed because we had done so much at that point that like we were everywhere at this point. We were giving up any weekend we could have been celebrating someone's birthday or like hanging out with friends or like being there for the family. We were on the road. And so she was kind of bummed about it. But I think it like lit a fire under us. And we just kind of were like, you know what, like we'll kill it. And next year we're going to get on the list. And lo and behold, we ended up on the guys list. Like this year they decided we're going to do a combined list as well as women's list. So it's pretty exciting. When we saw it, we were like, oh, like it worked. Not sleeping. Woo.
Now, are you mad because Ashley's higher than you?
No, because I know I'm better than her. I know it's I know it's not based off of rank. So
I expected that as an answer. That's what I was hoping to get. Now, are you technically the longest reigning Sabotage and Shimmer tag team champs?
Shimmer, I think we have a few more days before, not days, but like there'd be a couple more months before we break that record.
Oh.
Hopefully we could. If not, I wouldn't be mad because it does kind of feel iffy, like having the record because of COVID, like not need to defend the titles does kind of hurt a bit. I'm excited to defend them come this weekend with Shimmer and then the Sabotage ones down the line this year. Hopefully we can get some more like defenses for Battle Club and just like putting those promotions on the map and keeping them relevant. So it would be exciting. I know we did break the record for Sabotage, but there is like a small chip on my shoulder about it. It's like, oh, like it's not real.
Yeah, but it still goes on like your record.
Yeah. So. I know.
Oh, now you look sad. I feel bad. I should have asked that.
Dread. I'm just kidding.
Now, another question that I want to ask is when you do your road trips on your vlogs, you do meal prep, which I actually started the other day. So I'm trying to be on a diet. I don't know if you see my workout videos. I've called out wrestlers on Twitter. So Rip is one of them, and Perry. So.
Oh God, they're stiff. Don't do it.
When you do your meal prep, how do you keep your food cold so it doesn't spoil? Because like you made like stir fry before. I've seen that on the vlog.
Yeah.
How does it not go bad?
We do use ice packs. In between
Oh.
like hotels, we'll freeze the ice packs again. And if we get like a cold beverage, we'll put it in the cooler just to like kind of keep it cool. I mean, I haven't gotten sick yet from food, so I'm guessing it's working. Uh,
Now you competed outside of wrestling last October because I think it's been a year. You did a bikini competition, a body bikini competition. I think that's what it's called. What made you want to do that?
I had wanted to do that for years, and unfortunately, I didn't have good genetics. I didn't have a good starting physique when I started off with wrestling. I was kind of like a noodle. Um, I was what I ate. So the reason I started talking to Rip was because I saw he got in really good shape. From when I first met him, he looked kind of like a little child, and then he got in shape. So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, like, how'd you do that?" And so he kind of started teaching me about weightlifting, and as I was studying it for myself, I saw like women who did bodybuilding and stuff like that, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Like, I not that I never knew about it, it's just I never like was intrigued by it, or it never interested me enough to pay attention to how much dedication it took. And I wanted to do it. I did so many mock preps. Like, I would cut down and I would be like, I don't have enough muscle on me yet. And then I'd have to build muscle back up. And it took like 4 years teetering to see, am I going to look good on stage? Nope. Put muscle back on. Am I going to look good? Nope. Put muscle back on. And I told Rip, I was like, if I do my prep, like, and I don't look good, don't let me go on stage. And finally, after like 5 years of doing that, I was able to get on stage, and it was one of my like favorite moments of my life of just like being that, not even that lean, but like just like dedicating yourself to something and like accomplishing it and seeing it through. And I got trophies, so that's pretty cool.
Now, I want to ask this question as well. Have you ever gotten that tan before when you did the bikini body? When you did the competition?
I think when I was younger, I used to get tan like really orange. But no, like that was a disgusting amount of bronzer and tan.
Let's see. So tonight is actually the season finale of The Road Limitless, which you can watch. I'm not sponsored by this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. IWTV live. How are you feeling? I know it's already been pre-recorded, but um, you don't have to spoil.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel?
I feel great. This was the match that's coming up was my favorite match that I had that weekend. I had the matches all get filmed pretty much in one weekend, and then we kind of like decide how they get released. This was the last match I had to have, and I kind of pushed myself to finish out the weekend. I hurt my knee the first night after my second match, and so I kind of had two more matches on a bum knee. By the end of the night where I was waiting to wrestle, I was just like dying. I felt awful. I hadn't had like a real meal in me. And I was just like, I don't know if I can have this match. And I kind of just like dug deep and forced myself to do it. And Nick is really he's a really good guy. I was excited to like pick his mind and learn from him because I know how intelligent he is. Um, it was also intimidating because of how smart he is. But I was really glad to finally work with him, and I always tell him now, I'm like, I just want to wrestle you. I don't want to wrestle anyone else. And he finds it funny. He's probably like, no, thank you. But it was a great time. It's my favorite match that I had that weekend. So I'm excited to finally see it and then hate it because I'll pick apart everything that I don't like.
Now, another match that you had on the road, I actually talked to Rip about this the other day, was your guys' match together. And I asked him, he didn't budge at all. So maybe you could flip the script. I asked him, was there any arguments leading up to that match that brought out a fire? He said no. So, like, what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, no.
Dang it.
Yeah, no, we don't. It's weird. We don't argue. We don't really argue, especially when it comes to wrestling. We kind of have like the same mind. I mean, he taught me, so most of my ideas are strained from him. It does get annoying because sometimes we'll copy each other unintentionally, and I get disgusted because I'm like, ill, people are gonna think like that's like a shout out to you, and no, I'm my own person. But no arguments. We did pretty well. It was funny after the match. I felt fine, but I was just like, was it good? Like, was the match good? I don't know if it was good because there was no audience. That was the first match I had to have that weekend, and tapings, like, it's so different when you wrestle in front of an audience. You get that immediate gratification of like an applause, or if you're like kind of an asshole in the match, like you booed out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
But we got nothing. Like, so I was just looking around like, someone tell me it was awful or it was good.
You even made a TikTok out of it. So
yeah. I did. I made a few TikToks of me getting beat up from that weekend.
Now, on your Instagram, like a couple of weeks ago, you were asked on their behalf. I think it was like the Thundercat Power Ranger, to post a TikTok.
Bear Ranger.
Why did she contact you?
We're pretty close. I was around her resurrection in New Orleans, so we shared a few drinks, and she just wanted me to like post that. She made a TikTok. There may or may not be Kaiju Big Battle season 2. Not gonna spoil anything for the road. But yeah, I take a look, and it's probably a fun match.
Now, your tag team partner, Ashley Vox, is getting her title match tonight.
Yes.
In season 2, any hints that you might be in a title match picture?
God. I'm not good enough, but thank you.
Well, you said earlier you were the better one, so.
Well, that's true. But in terms of just like being on the limitless scene, I'm new there, so I'm still at the bottom tier right now. It's okay. I'll work up.
Now, in one of your matches, this was before even a pandemic was a thought. It was like a year ago. It was Team Caesars versus Team Mad. Before Rip was announced, it was when he was Tomahawk. After the match, Perry kind of like shooed you out of the ring because he wanted Ashley instead. How did that make you feel?
He knows that that's my buttons. I think I got a receipt on him for that. Somewhere there's a receipt, but he's like that all the time. We have kind of like that bond where it's just he claims he finds me annoying, and I will intentionally annoy him because it bothers him. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. If you tell me something annoys you, I'm going to keep doing it now. Like, so never tell me what annoys you. I love pressing people's buttons.
I just hate people talking with food in their mouth, so it's...
Well, now I'm going to do that. Rest of the interview.
We can pause if you want to take a break now. Let's see. Come up with the tag team name, Caesars.
I did, because I'm the greatest one. It was based off of originally me and Ashley's gimmicks. She was doing like a mermaid gimmick. I was doing a space alien. And so I was like, oh, okay, like C like you, and then stars like me, and sounds like sisters. It sounds like when I was younger, I used to have like a lisp. So every time I would go up to Ashley, I would just like hug her and like look up at her and be like, "You're my sister," because I love her so much. And we were 7 years apart, so she hated me. She was like,
wait, who's older?
Ashley's older.
Oh.
Yeah. She's shorter. But yeah, we're 7 years apart. So when she was like 13, I was, what is that? I can't do math. I was 6. So kind of a discrepancy there. So I would always just be like that annoying little sister, and she hated me. And so when we thought of it, it was originally that, but now it's just because we're from the ocean state, sea stars, everyone thinks of like starfish, and it sounds like sisters.
You know, every time when I heard the ocean state as like where you guys are from, I always thought they were gonna say job lot as like the store.
Every time I hear ocean say, I think job lot too. Like it's like a second subconscious ocean say.
Like where? Where's the job lot around here?
What sales are there?
I feel like I've done this after every question. I just look off into the distance and try to think. What's your favorite TikTok that you have posted?
It didn't get a lot of love, but my favorite one was when I was Kylo Ren. And we were doing like the whole fighting scene. It was me, my friends Adam and Jerry, and Davey and Ashley. And we did like the whole scene of him in Rise of Skywalker. Spoilers, I don't want to give anything away, but he was basically running on his way to save Rey. So I recreated that scene, and it was so quirky, and it was too. I need a hero.
Yep, I remember that TikTok. So one thing that you've done over quarantine is a lot of cosplay.
Yeah.
And you were even oh damn, I watched this the other day too. The wrestler guy that spits out mist.
Yes, great mood up.
So you actually spit mist at Ashley and it got on her face and she didn't look happy about that. What went into planning that video?
So Perry Von Perry Von Vicious suggested that I can't talk. He suggested that while I was shooting ideas with him because Great Muda doesn't cut promos, like, so that's not his thing. So I was kind of at a loss. Everyone wanted to see me do his video. And so I kind of made a montage of all his combined announcements, but I knew I needed something in the video to make it memorable. And he suggested shooting the mist at Ashley. And Ashley just got back from work, and I was in almost all of the face paint. And I looked at her and I said, "Can I shoot mist at you?" So she was in on it. Obviously, I'm not Great Muda, so it didn't burn. It had no superpowers behind it. But yeah, we tried twice with recording before she realized she could just actually put on. What is this?
Oh, I tested you. You missed it.
So, yeah, I spit in her face twice before we realized we should just like kind of drench her in green food dye, and then like obviously I'm still gonna do the mist for the sound effects, but yeah, it was pretty bad. She's a trooper.
I'm gonna send it one more time so you can like see it. All you have to do is thumbs up or thumbs down.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. That was a thing before.
Want me to send it one more time?
No, it's all right. I got it. I was just like, what is this?
So thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay, yeah. I think I got it. Whoa.
Okay, that's all I needed.
I'm an idiot. I was like, yeah.
You were just, I thought you were reading it because it didn't look like I can see you, but I thought, oh, she's going back to read it, so I'm just waiting for a response.
No, I'm not that intelligent.
Yet you said that you're the better sea star.
Well, I never said smarter. Actually, I am. So that's just sad.
You were the valedictorian in your high school class.
No, I was not.
Oh, you should have went a long way. One thing that I want to bring up is you shared your time capsules. I think that's what it was from when you were in high school.
Yeah.
You guys look literally the same, but like way older a little bit. How is that possible?
I think I was 13. I was in middle school at the time. And I dressed myself for that photo shoot. My mom pushed me into doing it in case we ever wanted headshots for any like extra work when it comes to like commercials or things like that or modeling opportunities. And I despised the idea. So I dressed the way I always dress. And yeah, I don't know. Ashley, she looks better than she did then. She didn't know how to do her makeup or her hair. Me as well. I didn't know how to do my makeup or my hair then, so it was a horrible throwback to look on.
So actually, what I do in these interviews sometimes, I can share a picture and you'll be able to see it. It will pop up on the screen, but the
Okay.
people watching this will not be able to see it.
Ha.
It just went through, so there it is.
Ah! It's so bad. It's so bad. I was such an ugly kid.
And yet you look like you're the older sibling in that one.
That's because I actually did my makeup. Ashley was just like a bum.
Wow, throwing the dirt out on this interview. Let's see. What are your favorite matches that you have wrestled as a single competitor, tag team, title match, and intergender wrestling?
Okay.
I know that was a lot to take in, so.
Tag team match is easy. That would have to be the Shimmer tag titles when we won the match. Because that's the most memorable moment in my career. Singles match would have to be. Does it have to be 1-on-1? Or just an opportunity?
No.
Singles. Okay, that would have to be like my debut match in Japan. Because again, a memorable moment for me. And then you said intergender.
Mm-hmm.
Intergender's definitely me and Ashley wrestling LAX, Proud and Powerful, at their last independent wrestling show. That was one of my favorite matches I had. Really brutal. It was a long match. It was the main event. And me and Ashley weren't really expecting that. We found out like the week before that it was going to be the main event. We found out the week before that it was going to be their last independent match. So it was like just adding on the pressure every minute for being good at that match. And then the last one was what? Singles.
Tag team singles intergender title match.
Title match. My favorite title match. I would think there was like a really fun one that we did. It was a 4-day tour. So we did 3 days in Texas, and then we decided to do AG's show. What is that show called? Northeast something. And we did a fatal 4-way tag match for the Sabotage tag titles. And I just really like it. I like when I'm tired and my brain has to go. I think of my best work. Sometimes I say stupid stuff. But that was probably like one of the funner matches. I took everyone's finisher at one point. And thankfully Ashley made the save.
Now, I can't see it behind you, but I recognize the photo. How did Perry Von Vicious get in that picture?
Perry's that he gets so mad about that. Actually, this art piece I got from I think it was like my second show for Queens of Combat. they were running out of the old. I'm going to mess this up. It was one of the old arenas that NWA would use. And so I thought it was cool because at the time I was watching NWA from back then. And I bought it, and it was sitting, I bought it for Rip. And it was sitting rolled up in his room all that time. And so now that we moved in, I got a frame for it, and it's finally hanging up. It looks great for collecting dust. Yeah. And then Rip got those 4 8x10s. We're going to get a few more to fill out that side.
Now, did it hurt to get hit by a kendo stick signed by Tommy Dreamer?
Yeah, it did. It did a lot, actually. I wasn't expecting. Adrenaline goes a long way when it's not a match. That sucked.
Oh, this is another moment. If I knew how to edit, I would just put a counter at the bottom of the stream and be like, number of moment of silence number 3 or something. Now, if there's a match that people should go back and watch of you, what should it be and why?
Oh man. One match they should go back and watch. I never watch any of my matches again. I have a lot of good matches that were at throwaway shows, and because people aren't like names, if I wrestled them, they use. So I would say like one match I was really proud of, and it was kind of like a program that I worked, was with Amanda Fox. She was always wrestling in the New England scene. She never kind of like broke out and was able to get out of the territory. But her retirement tour that she did, I got to work for one of the promotions that runs in the RWA building in Rhode Island. And I got to do 2 different matches with her. She has a lot of wear and tear from like previous injuries. So I felt like I kind of wrestled her in a way where she could still walk out of it and be able to retire without any more injuries added on. And I was really proud of those matches. They're not, I mean, we were both nobodies at the time. And those are matches that like I really pieced together quite well. And I was really proud of them just because they were so intense. One of them was the main event, and we kind of just killed each other. Like, so I did all this not stupid, but like just like intense stuff that you normally don't see girls get the opportunity to do. And I had the opportunity to do because I was at a show where there's not like micromanaging, whereas like no one was like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. They just kind of like let us do whatever we want. And sometimes the smaller shows, like, they're good for that reason. Like, I could go to a big show and it's like, all right, your time limit's 5 minutes, and so you're kind of stuck under that ceiling. But at shows like this, where it's more like backyardy, it's like you have free reign. Like, you get to tell the story you want. There's no ceiling on you at all. Alarm's going off for my lunch. That's why
Is the monster helping you like stay focused during this interview?
I don't know. I honestly was just drinking it because I like the way it tastes.
Good to know. I do the same thing, so they're not healthy for me, but I do it anyway. Like Ashley always says on her vlogs when they were a thing, live life on the edge.
What a bad influence! She said that? I don't remember that. I know that's her personality, but I didn't realize she put that out there in the world. Oh my god. That's
when I do my research, when I know who I'm interviewing, I do my research.
Wow. What a bad influence. I'm gonna yell at her. Live life on the edge.
She does like her videos in the car, and her car will go off to put on a seatbelt. She's like, I live life on the edge. And then there's one when she like went out to party and she like got like an hour of sleep, she said. And she was like, "I'm going to work, live life on the edge." Like she just kept saying it. It was either that one, like she would say that, or forever #forever lonely.
Oh my
So
god. This girl. Cringe. I cringe so hard.
yeah, I do my research. So
That's great. That's awesome that you know that.
hmm so all right, this might sound weird, but I gotta ask it anyway because I did my research. Um, why did you think that Ashley got a oh shoot, a panda? It was either a panda bear or a koala bear for Valentine's Day when it was yours. This was in her vlog.
Oh yeah, it's the koala, the giant koala. So Ashley's kind of like, I'm gonna rat her out. She's a hopeless romantic. And for as long as I can remember, she always was with someone for Valentine's Day. Not gonna say it was the same person every year, but she always had a Valentine's. And me growing up, I never had a Valentine's. But I liked Valentine's Day because it was like chocolate and everything was pink and it was
Who doesn't like chocolate?
yeah, it's a cute holiday. It's so like everything's so cute at stores. So that never bothered me. But that was the year she was like single. There was like a year where she was single for Valentine's Day. And then I saw that and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? She found someone last minute. Some sad sap got her a koala. Of course they did. But that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
You really threw her under the bus on that one.
There's no way to answer that.
It's fine.
I was set up.
Unless she's gonna watch this interview, who's gonna know? So, what is on the schedule after the collective for you?
I have 4 different dates and I don't remember. I did have to take breaks. So because of COVID, I have to take like 2-week breaks in between my dates to get tested. And then worst case scenario, if I do end up positive, I don't want to kind of mess up with the show's like lineup. I think the next thing, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but it's 11/8 is the date.
Can you tell us what state it's in?
New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I have no clue.
They're 2 big hints. New Jersey. Who's been running in New Jersey recently?
There's a 3-letter word. Like 3 letters in a promotion.
Oh no, I'm not that good enough.
Now, you been to what was the name? Freelance, not underground, but freelance wrestling. And I've actually seen you on Ethan Page's vlog, wearing a shirt. I forget which one it was. I think it was his birthday from last year. But it's just you and Ashley sitting in the corner putting on socks. And you looked very confused. I just thought I would mention that, but.
Oh man, I didn't know I made it on his vlog. That's pretty cool. I was probably confused because
Him and Swoggle were going at it.
Okay. I was very low carb at that point. I was in the middle of my prep, close to the end of it actually. So it was probably for that reason.
What are your favorite meal preps to make?
And shrimp. But I'm allergic to shrimp, so I had an episode recently where my tongue got fat. I had to take Benadryl, and Rip has banned me from eating shrimp. That was recent, so I guess I see why.
Any other protein?
Nope, chicken and shrimp.
So mainly chicken, though. So.
Yeah, chicken is pretty good. I hate ground turkey. Stay away from it. It's not worth it.
What else besides the protein part? What else goes with the thing? Unless you just eat meat, like.
No, I don't just eat meat. I actually love carbs. It's my weakness. That's all I want to eat. I can survive off carbs too. I know I can. I've done it before. So I make rice, um, oatmeal. I love eggs in the morning. Eggs is my favorite protein, actually. And yeah, I try to do like salad for veggies now that I'm just at home because salad won't go bad. But cabbage. I made Polish food last night for dinner. Made kielbasa and cabbage with rice, all stir fried together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, this is my last question for you, and then we're gonna switch roles. Can you say alpha, Kenny, body 10
I
times
know
fast?
this joke. I made this joke. No, I didn't make it, but it's so good. No, I won't say that. It'd be a lie.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
What are your goals for 2020?
Well, since there's only like 3 months left, um, I want to try to lose weight. Um, I'm an amateur wrestler for school, and I want to get below 250. Like that's my goal weight. Um, I reached my goal in bench pressing because I turned my basement into a home gym. It used to be a garage gym, but I wanted to reach 100 pounds in bench pressing, and I reached that the other day, so that
Nice.
was good. Um, I want to be able to squat more weight, but it's just hard because I don't have an actual squat rack, and trying to pick up the bar, get it into the right position.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's hard. But yeah, just trying to put on more muscle, but also lose weight. So
Awesome. Well, keep doing it. You're so young too, so you'll have plenty of time to hit all your goals. Unlike us old people, we're pushing our limit.
Is there anything that you'd like to promote?
Pro Wrestling Tees started their sale, so prowrestlingtees.com/DelmiXO. You can use code FALL for 20% off. And I'm available on Instagram and Twitter at DelmiXO. And that's about it for now.
Mm-hmm. If anyone ever was to DM you, should they expect a response or no?
Probably not because I'm very bad with DMs. Like, I try to go through them a little at a time, but they get flooded. Especially like the requests section. If you mention me on Twitter, that is kind of faster though, because I will always check that because the notification bothers me and I will go through those. But DMs is kind of hard. Email's probably better if it's like something for like podcasts. Email's probably better for me.
Well, Delmi, I appreciate your time for coming on my show. Really glad it finally happened. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow her on all her social medias. Watch Limitless Wrestling The Road season finale. And yeah, I'll see you in the next interview.